Time to bring the bass back.
Mix is the beat of our culture. Your music.
I thank God for the opportunity to make music and for that music to be on a platform for people to come out and love.
Your stories.
It's gold for the Philippines!
The next generation of creators, artists, and filmmakers.
We bring you the latest and greatest impacting people from our community.
Spotlighting inspiring content from Generation Mix.
It's just a true honor to be able to do this, especially with all the great Filipino talent here.
Discover fresh artists first from around the world. Uniquely Filipino.
Step back three. He has got that.
Mix is the beat of our culture.
Hello everyone, welcome to this MYXclusive interview. I'm VJ Ai, and for today we have a Grammy-nominated Filipino-American singer, songwriter, record producer, and graphic designer. He's here to talk about his latest singles, Postman and Magazine, their incredible official music videos, which, by the way, one of which includes a jeepney driving around California. So get that, guys. He is really waving the Filipino flag very proudly, wherever he is, but actually right now he is in California joining us here in Manila to talk about his songs, his music, and of course how his Filipino heritage has influenced his music. Please welcome here for the very first time on MYXclusive, Chaz, or more commonly known as Toro Y Moi.
Hi.
Hi Chaz, welcome to Mix.
Thanks for having me. This is really fun.
Ooh, is this gonna be like one of your first interviews for your Filipino fans?
One of the first, yeah. Definitely, I think this album is reaching more Pinoy fans than previous already. So it's off to a good start.
Oh, we're so excited for your upcoming album, Mahal, and we're so happy that you used our word for love for your title of the album. But before we get to that, your latest releases, let's take a trip down memory lane, if that's okay. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Chaz? Where did you grow up, and do you know where your mom is from in the Philippines?
Well, I'm from South Carolina. My mom's from Manila. And pretty much I started Toro when I was in high school around 15, and then it took off around 23 after college, and then I immediately hopped on the road and started doing it. And I've been doing that for the past 10 years, and now I'm in California, just chipping away at this stuff.
Well, that's a great place to be in, especially if you're a musician, and maybe you have plans on moving to LA where everybody is at. Do you have plans to go there?
Everyone always asks. We'll see. I'm not gunning for it, but I am really happy here in San Francisco, in the Bay Area, Oakland.
Ooh, I've been there. I have relatives there. I think all Filipinos have relatives there.
Yeah.
So it's also, yes, a great community, especially for the arts. But right now we'd like to know where your love for music came from. Like, has it always been there since you were a kid? And how supportive were your parents of you when you decided to really take this on full time?
Yeah. My parents were very supportive. I mean, my mom got me signed up for piano lessons at 7 and then guitar by 12. And I was writing my own music by 15, just sort of out of boredom. So it's very much, it's instilled in me, but it's also just there. I love music, and it's a passion of mine. So like, I think my parents, I can credit them for the work ethic for sure.
Ooh, wow. Well, that's great to know, because not all parents, especially Filipino ones, are very supportive when it comes to, musician kids. But it's great to know yours are, and we can see that you've really grown to appreciate piano, which I read somewhere that you weren't as keen on when you were younger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I was not a fan of practicing. I didn't become a fan of practicing until quarantine, actually. Like during the pandemic, I needed a reason to, keep my vocals in shape and keep my my guitar skills, piano skills. So I had to enforce myself to practice, and Yeah, that was important. I never really took that serious until now.
But do you remember like which artists you listened to when you were younger? Like who were you a fan of?
Oh, I mean, the superheroes of, my music superheroes when I was a kid growing up, definitely Michael Jackson was up there. Like just the amount of catchiness and pop aspect. But then my alt gear really kicked in when I found Weezer. So
Ooh.
I became like little alt kid from there on out. I was just like forever just looking for more alternative music stuff, not on the radio, not on TV. But now it's reached a unique place, and I'm really happy that I'm happy where music is. Like I'm glad it's not just mainstream and underground. It's like kind of a fusion these days. So it's really awesome to see that happening.
And with the technology nowadays, it has become, a level playing field for everyone. So that is great. Okay. So now, after all those, influences that you had, let's go to the cultural aspect. Like, what do you think you're being a Filipino added to, or what do you think you're being a Filipino, I guess, influenced you in your being a musician?
Yeah, I think there's so many aspects. Someone asked me this the other day. You know this, but Filipino culture is already a melting pot of other cultures, and I think Filipinos are sort of we have this innate ability to sort of shape our voice, honestly, in unique ways, to where it's like almost disguisable as a more Western voice, and it's like it's a skill and I think it's like that sound of, I was listening to a lot of like Hot Dog compilations from the
Wow.
70s, and like a lot of stuff like that where it's like very silky smooth singing, kind of croony, and like, I got into that world when I covered Joe Baton's Ordinary Guy.
Mhm.
And that was a song that really helped me tap into that, just the suave sound. Yeah. So
Ah, thanks to your parents for introducing you to Hot Dog. Any other Filipino artists that you would listen to as a kid, or even up to now?
I mean, I found Hot Dog beat like now. I didn't grow up with Hot Dog.
Oh,
Like I
it,
grew up,
it wasn't because of your mom. Wow.
no, yeah, I just dug it up, like being around like-minded Pinoy friends who are into like digging for records. So
Ooh, well, that is a classic. You found a great one. So that's good for you. Okay, so now let's talk about your own music. So can you tell us about Postman? What is it about, and what's the inspiration behind it?
Postman was a track that I needed something humorous, and I needed something silly and borderline dumb, like just like nonsensical. So I don't know, everything on this record is very dense, like once you actually hear it, and there's some introspection, but also I wanted it to have a lighthearted, sort of accessible, just opening somewhere in the record. So like Postman for me, like I was writing about Postman because during the quarantine, I really got to know my postman, because I'm usually gone when he's bringing packages or letters over. So to see that happen every day for like the year, you're just like, oh, I forgot that this person does this, and I never see them because I'm at work usually all day or whatever. So like it's that's my little slice of what I got out of quarantine, like a little positive thing.
Oh my gosh, there's a real person behind this. Do you know the postman's name? Maybe you can give a shout out right now.
No, I don't know his name, but he's pretty chill. Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the music video, because here on Mix, we actually play out music videos on our channel. Fans vote for it. It's such a big deal for us. We have countdowns for it. So, what is the main concept of the Postman music video, and how were you able to get a jeepney there in California with a California plate?
Yeah.
And you're able to drive around in it? complete with the like what we call the sarao, or the horse in
Yes.
front. Yes, it's so complete, and with the lights. I mean, you have a pretty cool jeepney there.
Thanks. I mean, I feel pretty honored and like to have stumbled across it. It's like definitely, you know, a historic artifact. So like the whole thing started with me wanting to do this campaign that was based around a vehicle, and I wanted to have a campaign that was pandemic proof, essentially. Like I wanted to be able to drive to record shops or coffee shops and give out the record or sell the record and play some music out of the Jeep or whatever vehicle. I ended up finding the jeepney coincidentally, and that's where everything sort of snowballed into Mahal. And from there, that's when I really was like, okay, I know where to take this now that, you know, the internet gods have shown me this jeepney in Ohio. It's already in the States. It was brought over to Ohio in 1967 from the Philippines, commissioned. It was just commissioned. And it was made out of World War II parts from 1942. So to have this American Jeep go to the Philippines during World War II, be reappropriated to become a taxi, and then shipped to Ohio to become a tour bus, and then I buy it back, and here it is in San Francisco. It's got this amazing story to it of like cultures just woven into this vehicle. So like for me, it's like this beautiful thing. It's sad but beautiful, but it's happy and uplifting. So like it's like this like it's me. It really represents my multicultural background and my passion for the Philippines.
So much history right there, and that's right. I mean, it's serendipitous that you found that jeepney. And did I hear that right? You bought it?
I bought it, yeah.
Oh, so it's there forever in your life now.
Yeah, and you know,
not just for the video.
Yeah, I have a Pinoy auto community here who's down to help me take care of it as well. So it really made sense to bring it to San Francisco, being that there's such a big Pinoy community here. So like it just, that's why I'm saying like we got to get this thing in front of the Golden Gate Bridge. We got to get this thing driving around the city, because like this is a rarity. So it had to happen.
Yes, we've seen the pictures. I mean, and of course the clips in the video, they were iconic. I mean, that's not something that we see every day, and you know, it just makes us feel all proud here in the Philippines. So thank you so much for doing that, Chaz. But now let's talk about your other single, Magazine. So what is this about?
Yeah, so another theme to this record is sort of slight commentary on content and how we consume content, and the types of content that we're consuming, like the idea of magazines becoming phased out or going straight to digital. So like that's kind of just my poetic view on like where things are going, and how fame isn't exactly the same thing anymore. Like we all want to be on the magazine cover, but like nowadays everyone can be on a magazine cover. Like it's really accessible to be a part of the media. It's like it's not too hard to go viral these days. Or I don't want to speak for everyone, but like it's everywhere now is what I'm saying. So like for us to all have that aspiration to be on a magazine, I think it's just a different goal in general. So like that's what that song's about.
Oh, I love how your insights in life are. It is pretty relatable and very common. But then when you talk about it, you frame it in such a way that it sounds new to our ears, but you know, it's been there all along. So I love how you translated that into your music, and also visually. We also know you're a graphic designer, and we can really see that in most of your music videos, like the music video for Magazine. It's very artistic and visually appealing. So we want to know, were you involved in creating the design for this, and how is it like conceptualizing it?
Totally. Yeah, so for the video for Magazine, that was specifically, just me and my friends with cameras. We didn't really have a huge team or anything. So we rented a seamless backdrop at a studio, and we just sort of had fun. We didn't really script anything. It was just winging it, having fun, being artsy. And we really just trusted the director, Jamie Whalen, to sort of just do everything else in post, because I really didn't have many videos that were heavy on the post-production. Usually most of my videos are like cameras on cranes or dollies and like film or something. Like all the money goes towards the front. So like to spend more money on just unique editing, and that's where the fun was for me on that one.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And I forgot to ask, by the way, about the music video for Postman.
Yeah.
In the end, you were kind of like throwing up, and then you smiled at the camera. Like, what was that about?
You know, it was so funny. Like, we were shooting on film, right? So it's 16 millimeter film, and like in theory, I was supposed to be seasick from the Balik Bayan. So like, I like pop out of the box and I throw up, and they were like, "Chaz, throw it up." And I just start laughing. I'm like, it just came out of my mouth like a clump. Like it didn't really look like throw up. So I was just laughing. And then they were laughing behind the camera. And so I just like look at the camera and I'm like, this is just like oatmeal falling out of my mouth. It's not vomit.
But then the editor said, okay, we're going to get that. It's gonna
Yeah,
be
they're like, keep that
how
smile.
this video ends. Okay, so you were in a Balikbayan box and then you were seasick. Okay, great. Thank you so much for explaining the concept. Now,
Yeah.
let's talk about your upcoming album. We're so excited. It's called Mahal. But this isn't the first time you used a Filipino word, right? For your music. You've had talamak before. So can you tell us like the inspiration behind talamak first? And is there anything else that you've released in, with a Filipino title aside from that?
I don't think so.
So just those two.
I think
Okay,
you
so
got it. Yeah.
why use talamak? Like out of all the Filipino words, I mean, it's pretty deep. I mean, not everyone uses that word even. So it's amazing that you found out about that word and you even used it for a song.
Thanks. I mean, yeah, that just goes to show, even from the first record, I really did want to represent. But I did also want to show that I wanted to represent the subculture, those that are like emotionally connected to music and themselves emotionally. So if I'm not mistaken, it means chronic, correct?
Mm-hmm.
It's like
it's everywhere, or like,
yeah, almost unescapable.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a love song, and I just wanted to talk about love being like a drug or this chronic that can lift us up or hurt us. Yeah.
Now, back in those days, of course, your music was also different. How would you differentiate it from the upcoming album now? What is the sound that we can expect from Mahal?
Yeah, expect your parents to like it, or you're the generations older than you to be like, what is this? Because I really wanted to talk to the older generations. I wanted to talk to the parents, the titas, the 40-year-olds, even the 50-year-olds. Like, I don't think this record, I wasn't really thinking too much about the youth too much on this record. I wanted to really sort of go a different route and touch base with those older than me. And because those are the generations that are in power, those are our bosses, those are the people that are looking to the youth, and to have someone younger actually be willing to talk and like design an album for them, or like have tones and sonic frequencies that aren't harsh because maybe your ears are getting old or something. Like, I'm already there. So like, I wanted to design a record and make a record that is for those who enjoy domestic life. Like, it's a good record to cook to. It's not a club record. It's not a driving record necessarily, but I think it's one of those records you're going to put on while you're at home, cleaning, showering, cooking. That's who I'm talking to.
Ooh, interesting. I mean, we don't get to hear something like that every day. And as we know, from your previous releases, you are full of surprises. So we can't wait to hear what you have in store for us for this next album. Now, anything else that we can expect from you for the rest of 2022?
Expect more content. I think that's one thing I really learned to enjoy is making the video content. As you can tell, there's already 4 videos, a 4th one coming out later this week. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. I really just want to continue to make more films, videos. So yeah, expect more of that.
Yay. Okay. So I actually have your track list here. You have 13 tracks. So of course we've already seen The Loop, Postman, Magazine. Any hint as to which is coming out later this week or next week?
It's 3 syllables.
Ooh, okay. Thanks for that. We'll be looking at the track list later on and examining which one has 3 syllables. Now, any plans on going to the Philippines? Of course, when everything clears up. Have you ever been to the Philippines?
Yes, it's been almost like 8 years or something now. So I'm long overdue for a trip. And yes, I'm hoping to make it back, hopefully with my mom.
Okay. When you're here, what do you guys do usually?
I mean, food. Food is number one. Like that, and then maybe, I don't know, walk around the malls. I think the malls there are so intense. I love it.
Oh yes, because your mom's from Manila, right?
Yeah.
Not like from the islands, from the beaches. So
No.
it's really just the city.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
not much to do here.
yeah, she checks in with family. I know she's got some like land somewhere that she checks on and stuff like that.
Oh,
We just
yes.
go check in with the family business.
Mhm. What food are you looking forward to taste once again when you come here?
I'll tell you right now, one of my favorite dishes is dinigawan.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
you won't find that much there.
no,
Yes.
you can only find it at your uncle's house or something, or
Mhm.
like, I mean, there are a couple of Filipino restaurants here that do it, and they do it really well, actually. But that is my favorite. And then adobo and lechon is like amazing.
Well, we can't wait to have you here in the Philippines. Maybe do, some shows here so that your Filipino fans can experience your music and your artistry live. Now, speaking of your Filipino fans, what is your message to them?
My message? Let's see. Well, take some time to center yourself every day and just sort of just like collect yourself before you really get your day started, before you even look at a phone, and like just like make a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, then look at your phone. So that's all I would say is just like take a minute, assess the day, collect it, and then carry on.
Wow, so therapeutic. You should do a podcast. I love how, those few lines already helped someone watching right now get through their day. But would you like to invite everyone to check out your music? And where can they follow you online as well?
Yeah, be sure to follow me at Toro Y Moi on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can also check out all the fun stuff at toroymoi.com.
Before we forget, okay, I forgot to ask, where did Toro Y Moi come from, like the name?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to obscure that it was just a person or one person. So I wanted to stay away from my name, and then I also wanted to like not make it sound like it's a full band. So I stayed away from things like The Strokes or The Beatles, like the name.
Owl City.
Yeah, well, that's even, different, but I wanted to really just obscure it. And so I went with a Spanish and French name and just really tried to catch people off guard.
Okay, any like specific reason as to why you chose Toro out of all the Spanish names? Like that means bull, right?
Yeah. So there's several meanings. Like I wanted to me, it represented like a bull in a china shop. It's like grabbing life by the horns kind of thing. So it's like the bull is just like this thing stampeding towards you that like you can't really control. And then it's me, which is I'm just me, but like the bull is everything. It's like the BS. It's like the bull that's in the china shop. It's the bull that's getting you, helping you get your work done even. So like it's everything good and bad, high energy, low energy, you name it.
And then there's you.
And then
Are you riding the bull here? How do you envision it?
yeah, it's a rodeo. Sometimes I am riding the bull.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for that explanation. Because I was reading up on it. You have different stories as to why you chose Toro Y Moi.
No, I mean, there's other things too. Like I've said, it's just made up. I've also said that, my partner, my wife, she's a Taurus, which is a bull. So like that's something that kind of was just brought into the universe, possibly by the name. Who knows? But like, yeah, bull represents a lot to me.
Again, very serendipitous. Such a beautiful coincidence. And it seems like, everything's happening for you. Everything's falling into place as long as your heart's in there. So keep doing what you're doing, Chaz. And we'll be here to support you. Of course, your Filipino fans are here. And we will see you soon, hopefully here in the Philippines and maybe over there. I mean, we have a lot of Filipinos there
Yes.
waiting to see your shows there. And congratulations on your recent series of shows. Any live performances coming up next?
We have the show. We have our tour with Krungbin starting in a month. So we'll be on the road for a couple weeks with them, just touring the States, and then we'll see. Hopefully Asia later this fall.
Yay! We'll wait for that. But for now, to everyone watching, please do stream Postman and Magazine. Vote for the official music video on our official website, mix.global, so that it may enter our mix charts and rise to the top. And also, let's all wait for Mahal coming out on April 29. So it's pretty soon. So, just a month to go. We'll be waiting for the 13 tracks. But right now, that's it for our time with Chaz. Thank you so much for joining us today. Once again, I'm DJ IE for this MYXclusive. Thank you so much, Toro Y Moi.